Look around you. Look at the space you are in right now. It might be a comfortable room, a familiar chair, the glow of a screen that fits perfectly in your hand. It feels safe, doesn't it? It feels like a reward. After a long day, after the relentless pressure to perform, to achieve, you have earned this moment of ease, this moment of escape. You tell yourself, just for a little while, I'll get back to it tomorrow. I'll start the diet on Monday. I'll make that call after this next episode. I'll chase that dream once I've had a little more rest. And in that moment, you are not lazy. You are not weak. You are simply a mouse who has just discovered a box overflowing with rice. Let me tell you a story. It's a simple story, but its truth is as sharp as a blade. A mouse, scurrying through the vast, uncertain world, finds himself in a situation of pure, unexpected fortune. He falls into a box, but it is not an empty, terrifying trap. It is a box filled to the brim with rice. In the beginning, his instincts are pure. He is a creature of survival. He feels the anxiety of confinement. His heart races with the primal fear of being trapped. He tries to escape. He leaps, his tiny claws scrambling against the smooth walls. But the rice beneath his feet gives way. He slips, tumbles back into the soft, fragrant mountain of grain. Each failed attempt is met with a soft landing. Each moment of panic is soothed by the smell of abundance. And then, a thought whispers to him, "Why are you fighting? You are hungry. The food is here. The struggle is out there." But here, there is peace. He stops trying to escape. He eats. The first grain is a revelation. It is proof that his decision to stop struggling was the right one. He builds his nest. He establishes his routine. He tells himself that this box, this fortunate fall, is a gift from heaven. He has arrived. This is the life he was meant to live. Now, I want you to pause for a moment and be honest with yourself. Have you ever felt that? That sigh of relief when you finally give in to the comfort? That moment you settled into the job that was easy? That moment you stopped working on the business plan and opened the delivery app instead? That moment you scrolled through a feed that required no effort at all? That, my friends, is the moment the Flowerpot Effect takes root. You haven't found freedom. You have simply stopped looking at the walls. The mouse in his newfound paradise grows fat, not just in body, but in complacency. His world shrinks to the dimensions of that box. His entire universe becomes the smell of rice, the texture of it beneath his feet, the comfort of a full stomach. The rice, which was once a resource to fuel his journey, becomes the journey itself. He is no longer living. He is simply consuming. And as he consumes, the rice level begins to drop. It's subtle at first. He doesn't notice because he's looking down. Always down, searching for the next grain. His belly grows heavy. His limbs grow soft. His claws, once sharp for climbing, are now only useful for digging deeper into the pile. Sometimes, a flicker of the old survival instinct surfaces. He looks up. The rim of the box, once just a short leap away, now seems impossibly high. The walls, once merely a boundary, now feel like a fortress. He makes a half-hearted attempt to jump, but his body, now conditioned for a life of ease, betrays him. He falls back down with a thud. A stone dropped into a shrinking pile of grain. And what does he tell himself? He doesn't see the diminishing returns. He doesn't see the trap closing in. He rationalizes. There is still plenty left. I have enough. Why risk the fall? Why risk the injury? The world outside is dangerous and cold. Here I am king. Here I am rich. This is the most dangerous stage of the Flowerpot Effect. It is not the moment of struggle that kills you. It is the moment of convincing. It is the story you tell yourself to justify the slow surrender. You tell yourself you are being practical. You tell yourself you are being patient. You tell yourself you are waiting for the right time. But the right time is a myth. The only time you have is now. Every now you spend digging deeper into your own comfort is a grain of your own potential that you are eating away. You are not waiting for the right moment. You are waiting for your own will to atrophy completely. The rice is getting less, and you are getting heavier. This is the equation of a life surrendered to comfort. The resources that sustain your complacency are finite, but the weight of your comfort is not. It grows with every excuse you make, with every shortcut you take, with every moment you choose the path of least resistance. You are digging yourself into a pit of convenience, and you are calling it home. The world outside that box hasn't disappeared. It is still there, full of danger, yes, but also full of purpose. But you can no longer see it because you are so focused on the grain directly in front of your face. You have traded a life of purpose for a life of ease, and ease is the most expensive thing you will ever buy. So, the mouse continues. The pile of rice is now a shallow layer. The walls are now monoliths. But he doesn't see the walls. His eyes have adjusted to the darkness. His ambition has shrunk to the size of his appetite. He digs not to build an escape route, but to find the last grains that have settled in the corners. His body, once nimble, is now a burden. He has traded his ability to climb for the temporary satisfaction of fullness. He is no longer a mouse who fell into a gift. He is a prisoner who has built his own cell. Then comes the final devastating moment. The last grain passes his lips. His stomach, which was once his source of comfort, now feels hollow and aching. He looks around, blinking in the dim light that filters down from a world he can no longer reach. The box is empty. It is only now, when there is nothing left to consume, that he truly sees. He sees the path he could have taken, the leaps he could have made when he still had the strength.
And in this moment, a new kind of terror grips him. It is not the fear of the unknown that he felt when he first fell in. That was a healthy fear, a survival instinct. This is a far worse fear, the fear of the known. He knows his fate. He knows that he has exchanged his future for a series of small, fleeting moments of comfort. He begins to destroy the walls. In a desperate primal frenzy, he claws at them. His soft, useless claws, designed for nothing more than shifting grains of rice, splinter and break. He throws his weight against the walls, the same weight that once kept him anchored in his paradise, and finds it is no match. He dies 3 days later. He dies of starvation, yes, but that is the surface of it. The true cause of death was not food. It was the temporary happiness of getting without working. He died of a prosperity that demanded nothing from him. He died where he once considered himself the richest creature alive. That box of rice, which began as a gift, ended as his grave. And the cruelest part is that the door was never locked. There was no lid. There was no predator. He just stopped trying. This is the Flowerpot Effect. In psychology, it's a life slowly suffocated by the very things that were meant to nurture it. The flower pot is not your enemy. It is your comfort. It gives you space to grow, but is designed to keep you contained. You mistake the walls of the pot for the boundaries of your potential. You mistake the temporary nutrients for the fullness of life. Now, let's translate this to your reality. What is your rice? What are the grains you are consuming instead of using fuel to climb? They are the endless scroll, the countless short videos, each one a grain of rice, designed to give you a tiny hit of dopamine. You tell yourself you're just relaxing, but you are really eating. You are consuming content instead of creating your life. You are watching someone else's highlight reel instead of filming your own. Those video games you can't leave are grains of rice. You level up a digital character while your own health, skills, and relationships remain under-leveled and weak. The binge-watching, the procrastination wrapped in self-care, the comfortable job that no longer challenges you, these are all grains in your box. And with every grain you consume, the walls get higher and your strength to climb them gets smaller.
The world is not trying to trap you. The world is not the enemy. The enemy is the part of you that loves the feeling of a full stomach more than the feeling of a beating heart. The enemy is the part of you that believes that the purpose of life is to minimize struggle, to maximize comfort. We have been sold a lie that happiness is the absence of discomfort. But I am here to tell you that happiness is not a still pond. It is a river. It is movement. It is flow. It is the feeling of your muscles straining against a challenge. It is the burn in your lungs as you climb. It is the satisfaction of a problem solved, not a problem avoided. Look at your life right now. Are you climbing or are you digging? Are you using your resources as a ladder to ascend, or are you consuming them as a meal to make your current position bearable? The most dangerous prison is one where the inmate believes they are free, and that is the prison of the Flowerpot. You believe you are enjoying life, but in reality, you are slowly, grain by grain, losing the very energy you need to truly live. The mouse in the story tried. In his desperation, he finally, truly tried. He fought until his last breath. The tragedy wasn't that he failed. It was that he waited until he had nothing left to fight with. The tragedy is in the long, slow, comfortable descent into powerlessness, where you wake up one day with an empty box. But your story does not have to end this way. You are still breathing. There is still rice in your box. More importantly, you still have the strength to climb. The rice is not your salvation. It is your fuel. Stop eating it just to eat. Start using it to climb. You are a human being, designed for struggle, for growth, for the painful, beautiful process of becoming. Give yourself a break. Rest is not the enemy. But do not lock yourself in a closed lane. The break is meant to recharge you for the climb, not to convince you to stay at the bottom. If you find yourself in a situation of easy abundance that asks nothing of you, you must look up. Work hard as long as there is rice in the box. Do not wait until the last grain is gone. That job that pays just enough, use its stability to fund your real education. Use it to build your real passion. Do not just consume the rice. Use it as a stepping stone. Pile it up. Build a mound. Use the very thing that is trying to trap you as a launch pad for your freedom. And if you try to jump and you fall back down, if you fail, then you fall back down on a bed of rice. You have resources. You can rest, you can learn, you can build a higher mound, and you can try again. But to never try, to let the rice dwindle and your strength fade, that is the only true failure. It is better to die trying to climb than to die of starvation in a self-made paradise. It is better to fall and bleed in the pursuit of a greater life than to grow fat and complacent in the slow death of a small one. There is an ancient wisdom that speaks to this very condition. It is a warning that cuts through the rationalizations of the Flowerpot Effect. It says, simply, do not be deceived. Do not be deceived by the ease. Do not be deceived by the fullness in your stomach when your soul is starving. Do not be deceived by the short-term pleasure that is stealing your long-term potential. The world will tell you that you deserve the rest. The world will tell you that you are being smart by taking the path of least resistance. The algorithms will feed you more rice, more comfort, more distraction, because they profit from your complacency. They profit from you staying in the box. Your own mind will tell you tomorrow, until tomorrow becomes never. But you have to be the one to say, no more. You have to be the one to look up from the pile and see the walls for what they are, not an impossibility, but a challenge. You have to feel the heaviness in your body not as a reason to stay, but as a warning that you have been sitting still for too long. You have to use the strength you have now today, in this moment, to make the leap. It doesn't have to be a perfect leap. It doesn't have to be a leap that clears the wall in one go. It just has to be a leap, a step, a decision to stop consuming your life and start building it. The mouse died in the box, but you don't have to. You are not a mouse. You are not bound by instinct. You have a mind that can foresee the future, a will that can override the craving for comfort, and a spirit that is meant for more than survival. You were meant to climb. You were meant to struggle. You were meant to feel the wind on your face as you pull yourself over the rim of that box and look out at the vast, terrifying, magnificent world. The rice is not your gift. The box is not your gift. The gift is the strength you have right now in this moment to choose to climb over the consumption. So I ask you one last time, what is your rice? And what are you going to do with it? Are you going to let it bury you? Or are you going to use it to rise? The choice is yours. The walls are high, but your potential is higher. The fall is scary, but the slow death of your own potential is far scarier. Break your claws against the walls of mediocrity if you must. But do not, I beg you, do not go quietly into that dark night of a life unlived. Do not let the temporary happiness of easy grains become the permanent gravestone of your dreams. Get up, look up, and climb. Your life is waiting for you on the other side of that struggle. Go and claim it.